You don't need, you can support the chicken. You don't need the support. You always come. Mommy needs the support. Oh, hey. You're happy with support? Why? Why you don't need the support? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Ram. Thank you, thank you. You will be. I know you can be strong, but you don't still I'm strong, right? Okay. Why? Okay, you're super strong. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Prabhu
Hare
नित्यानंद
Krishna Hare
नदी
Krishna
के
Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare
हरे
Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram
Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram
Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram
Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram
Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare
Sri Krishna
Hare
Chaitanya
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare 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 Rama
Ram Hare
Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama
Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna Hare 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 Rama
Hare Hare Ram
Hare Hare Krishna
Ram
Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Rama
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Ram
Rama Hare Hare Krishna
Hare Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Krishna Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री सात गौरभक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे हरे
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण
Krishna Hare 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 Ram
हरे कृष्ण
Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
हरे राम हरे
Hare
हरे
Hare
कृष्ण हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare
Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashanti Om Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
Hare Krishna, Raju Prabhu, Samyukta Mataji, Sandhya Mataji, Lavanya, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat.
Hare
Wish you all
Krishna, Prabhu.
very happy
Hare
Damodar.
Krishna, Dandavat.
Wish you all very happy Damodar Kartik month. So yesterday started in India. So actually I'm planning to have I wanted to show first, then we'll start reading. See, every day we will choose. Actually, there are different prayers. We will extend actually 30 minutes. We'll start at 7 o'clock like that. So we will read the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, devotional service. and then we'll read Gajendra Moksham prayers with translation. One day translation, one day Sloka recitation, like that. So we'll do that. Gopi Gita is there, Gajendra Moksham is there, and then 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Every day, every other day. Monday, for example, tomorrow will start. Otherwise, today will start actually 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And tomorrow we will read translations of all Gopi Gita prayers. And then Wednesday, we will read Gajendra Moksham prayers along with our regular reading. So all Kartik month, let us do all together. And we'll extend 30 minutes or of 1 hour for chanting also. So that anybody interested, they can join little early, not 7:30. I'm planning to put it 6:30. Let us see. 1 month, let us practice nicely in this holy month, Kartik Damodar. Of course, in this book, I have shared in our BG24 and Krishna Sayantaram group. This book is there. So regular prayers, Guru Ashtakam, Samsara Dava, Narsinga prayer, and then Sikshashtakam prayers, and then 10 offenses, and then this one, Damodar Ashtakam. Gopi Gita is there, then Gajendra Moksham. Yeah, 12th chapter. This is 12th chapter. Actually, I prepare slides, then we can follow easily. So today, first we'll begin with 12th chapter, quickly those translations, and then we'll go through regular reading. Okay. Okay. And let me open up that.
What about shlokas, 12 chapters? One day we can do shlokas also, so that we'll get some idea instead of reading every time
Actually,
translation. Once.
There is one audio recording, right? So we'll follow the tune. Just we usually follow, right, Lavanya?
Yeah.
That will follow. We'll see. First this week, let us read all the translations. We have gone through those recordings, right? First, we'll see that. Then we'll do that.
12 chapter is very important, and we can by heart some of the verses also while reading.
Right. Yeah. And Veda base. Where are we? Is it right? Okay. Stop here. Yeah. So we'll start with Mangalacharna prayers. Stop share and start share. Hare Krishna, Lalitman Prabhu, Dhanavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam. Sorry, I am late today.
It's okay. So wish you all very happy Kartik Damodar month. Yes, we'll do this Kartik. Yeah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimidandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarane Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuva Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. యాక్చువల్గా లలితమోహన్ ప్రభు ఏం చెప్పానంటే మీరు ఇంత జాయిన్ అయినప్పుడు ఉన్నారో లేరో. సో బేసికల్గా ఐ ప్రిపేర్ సమ్ స్లైడ్స్ ఇన్ దిస్ కార్తిక్ మంత్, ప్లానింగ్ టు రీడ్ 12th chapter, ప్లానింగ్ టు రీడ్ దిస్ Gopi Gita prayers and then Gajendra Moksham prayers, Prabhu. I wanted to extend little 1 hour with chanting and reciting this 1 month along with our regular reading is there. Okay, so that's what the idea, Prabhu. So Gajendra Stuti is there and Gopi Gita is there.
Okay,
then,
you have already particular pattern that you do it, like Sri Gadendra Vacha. Will you go like that or?
No. We follow. There is one recording, Prabhu. We'll do it.
Okay.
Not exactly. Not we are not there. There are some recordings. We'll follow initially. Then later.
Okay.
we'll see. Okay, Prabhu? Yes.
Okay, Prabhu.
So today we will read 12th chapter. Then we'll go to our regular reading.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Yeah, one devotee. Mataji, please begin. Samyukta Mataji. 5 verses.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Chapter 12, Devotional Service. Text 1. Arjuna inquired, which are considered to be more perfect, those who are always properly engaged in your devotional service, or those who worship in the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested? The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect. But those who fully worship the unmanifested, that which lies beyond the perception of the senses, the all-pervading, inconceivable, unchanging, fixed and immovable, the impersonal conception of the absolute truth, by controlling the various senses and being equally disposed to everyone, such persons engaged in the welfare of all, at last achieve me. For those whose minds are attached to the unmanifested, impersonal feature of the Supreme, advancement is very troublesome. To make progress in the discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied.
Yes, Mata. Thank you, Mataji. Sandhya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Go ahead.
But those, text 6 to 7, but those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me and being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service and always meditating upon me, having fixed their minds upon me, O son of Partha, for them I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. Text 8, just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus you will live in me always, without a doubt. Text 9, my dear Arjuna, O winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, develop a desire to attain me. Text 10, if you cannot practice the regulations of Bhakti Yoga, then just try to work for me, because by working for me, you will come to the perfect stage.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Lavanya, you want to read?
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Text 11. Can you highlight this?
Yes.
Yeah. If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act giving up all the results of your work and try to be self-situated. Text 12. If you cannot take to this process, then engage yourself in the cultivation of knowledge. Better than knowledge, however, is meditation, and better than meditation is renunciation of the fruits of action. For by such renunciation, one can attain peace of mind. Text 13 and 14. One who is not envious but is kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination, his mind and intelligence fixed on me, such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. Text 15. He by whom no one is put into difficulty and who is not disturbed by anyone, who is equipoised in happiness and distress, fear and anxiety, is very dear to me. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Raju Prabhu, go ahead.
Text 16. My devotee, my devotee who is not dependent on the ordinary course of activities, who is pure, expert, without cares, free from all pains, and not striving for some results, is very dear to me. One who is neither rejoices nor grieves, who neither laments nor desires, and who renounces both auspicious and inauspicious things. Such a devotee is very dear to me. Text 18 to 9. One who is equal to friends and enemies, who is equipped in honor and dishonor, heat and cold, happiness and distress, fame and infamy, who is always free from contaminating association, always silent and satisfied with anything, who doesn't care for any residence, who is fixed in knowledge and who is engaged in devotional service, such a person is very dear to me. Those who follow the imperishable path of devotional service and completely engage themselves with the faith, making me the super goal, are very, very dear to me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. So the dear to me verses, 7 verses, I think. Yeah. 6 verses. Hare Bol. Okay, we'll go through our readings, regular readings. I think we are at 21 now. Let me quickly check. This one. Yeah, CB Chakravarti, we see, yes, this one done. Okay. Yeah, we were discussed that one. Yeah. And Lalit Mohan Prabhu added many things in previous purports and this sloka. Dushyanta, right? Dushyanta. Yeah, Bharata Varsha, different 3 Bharatas. Daushyanti Bharata. Yes, we were discussed that one. So let us go through with reading 21st verse. Okay. Akinjam Prabhu, please start, Prabhu. Thank you for joining, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Then Lalit Mohan Prabhu, please go ahead.
Okay, Prabhuji. Translation. Amongst great bowmen, this child will be as good as Arjuna. He will be as irresistible as fire and as unsurpassable as an ocean. Purfort by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. In history, there are 2 Arjunas. One is Kartavir Arjuna, the king of Haihaya, and the other is grandfather of the child. Both the Arjunas are famous for their bowmanship, and the child Parikshit is foretold to be equal to both of them, particularly in fighting. A short description of the Pandav Arjuna is given below. Pandav Arjuna, the great hero of Bhagavad Gita. He is a Kshatriya, son of Maharaj Pandu. Queen Kunti Devi could call for any one of the demigods, and thus she called Indra, and Arjuna was born by him. Arjuna is therefore a plenary part of heavenly king Indra. He was born in the month of Phalguna, February to March, and therefore he is also called Phalguni. When he appeared as the son of Kunti, his future greatness was proclaimed by the air messages, and all the important personalities from different parts of the universe, such as demigods, the Gandharvas, the Adityas from the sun globe, the Rudras, the Vasus, the Nagas, the different rishis, sages of importance, and the Apsaras, the society girls of heaven, all attended the ceremony. The Apsaras pleased everyone by their heavenly dances and songs. Vasudeva, the father of Lord Krishna and the maternal uncle of Arjuna, sent his priest representative Kashyapa to purify Arjuna by all prescribed samskaras or reformatory processes. His samskara of being given a name was performed in the presence of rishis, residents of Satashringa. He married 4 wives, Draupadi, Subhadra, Chitrangada, and Ulupi, from whom he got 4 sons. The names of 4 sons of the names Shrutakirti, Abhimanyu, Bhabruvahana, and Iravan, respectively. During his student life, he was entrusted to study under the great professor Dronacharya, along with other Pandavas and the Kurus, but he excelled everyone by his studious intensity, and Dronacharya was especially attracted by his disciplinary affection. Dronacharya accepted him as a first-grade scholar and loved heartily to bestow upon him all the blessings of military science. He was so ardent a student that he used to practice bowmanship even at night. And for all these reasons, Professor Dronacharya was determined to make him the topmost bowman of the world. He passed very brilliantly the examination piercing the target, and Dronacharya was very pleased. Royal families at Manipura and Tripura are descendants of Arjuna's sons Babruvahana. Arjuna saved Dronacharya from the attack of crocodile, and the Acharya, being pleased with him, rewarded him with the weapon of the name Brahma Shiras. Maharaj Drupada was inimical towards Dronacharya, and thus when he attacked the Acharya, Arjuna got him Arjuna got him arrested and brought him before Dronacharya. He besieged a city, the name Ahichatra, belonging to Maharaj Drupada, and after taking it over, he gave it to Dronacharya. The confidential treatment of the weapon Brahmashiras was explained to Arjuna, and Dronacharya was promised by Arjuna that he would use the weapon if necessary when he, Dronacharya, personally became an enemy of Arjuna. By this, the Acharya forecasted the future battle of Kurukshetra, in which Dronacharya was on the opposite side. Maharaj Drupada, although defeated by Arjuna on behalf of his professor Dronacharya, decided to hand over his daughter Draupadi to his young combatant, but he was disappointed when he heard the false news of Arjuna's death in the fire of the Shalak house, intrigued by Duryodhana. He therefore arranged for Draupadi's personal selection of a groom who could pierce the eye of a fish hanging on the ceiling. This trick was especially made because only Arjuna could do it, and he was successful in his desire to hand over his equally worthy daughter to Arjuna. Arjuna's brothers were at the time living incognito under agreement with Duryodhana, and Arjuna and his brothers attended the meeting of Draupadi's selection in the dress of Brahmanas. When all the Kshatriya kings assembled saw that a poor Brahmana had been garlanded by Draupadi for her lord, Shri Krishna disclosed his identity to Balarama. Now, should I continue? I'm sorry, I'm just continuing.
Sure. I mean, I think Kinchan Prabhu, Haribol, are you there? Akinchan Prabhuji. Yeah. Haribol. Okay. Yeah, Chadam Prabhuji. Next name out.
Okay, Prabhu. He met Ulupi at Haridwar, and he was attracted by that girl belonging to the Nagaloka, and thus Iravan was born. Similarly, he met Chitrangada, a daughter of the king of Manipur, and thus Babhruvana was born. Lord Sri Krishna made a plan to help Arjuna to kidnap Subhadra, sister of Sri Krishna, because Baladev was inclined to hand over to Duryodhana. Yudhishthira also agreed with Sri Krishna, and thus Subhadra was taken by force by Arjuna and then married to him. Subhadra's son is Abhimanyu, the father of Parikshit Maharaj, the posthumous child. Arjuna satisfied the fire god by setting fire to the Kandava forest, and thus the fire god gave him one weapon. Indra was angry when the fire was set in the Kandava forest, and thus Indra, assisted by all other demigods, began fighting with Arjuna for his great challenge. They were defeated by Arjuna, and Indradeva returned to his heavenly kingdom. Arjuna also promised all protection to one Mayasura, and later presented him one valuable conch celebrated as a Devadatta. Similarly, he received many other valuable weapons from Indradeva when he was satisfied to his chivalry. Yes, Prabhuji. Correct.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. When Maharaj Yudhishthira was disappointed in defeating the king of Magadha, Jarasandha, it was Arjuna only who gave King Yudhishthira all kinds of assurances, and thus Arjuna, Bhima, and Lord Krishna started for Magadha to kill Jarasandha. When he went out to bring all other kings of the world under the subjection of the Pandavas, as was usual after the coronation of every emperor, he conquered the country named Kelinda and brought in subjugation King Bhagadatta. Then he traveled through countries like Antagiri, Ulukapura, and Modapura, and brought under subjugation all the rulers. Sometimes he underwent severe types of penances, and later on he was awarded by Indradeva. Lord Shiva also wanted to try the strength of Arjuna, and in the form of an aborigine. Aborigines.
Man-eaters.
Man-eater, okay.
Means the very, very primitive people, probably. Aborigines means they eat anything.
Terrible. Lord Shiva met him. There was a great fight between the two, and at last Lord Shiva was satisfied with him and disclosed his identity. Arjuna prayed to the Lord in all humbleness, And the Lord, being pleased with him, presented him the Pashupata weapon. He acquired many other important weapons from different demigods. He received Dandastra from Yamaraja, Pashastra from Varuna, and Antardhanastra from Kuvera, the treasurer of the heavenly kingdom. Indra wanted him to come to the heavenly kingdom, the Indraloka planet beyond the moon planet. In that planet, he was cordially received by all the local residents, and he was awarded reception in the heavenly parliament of Indradeva. Then he met Indradeva, who not only presented him with his Vajra weapon, but also taught him the military and musical science as used in the heavenly planet. In one sense, Indra is the real father of Arjuna, and therefore, indirectly he wanted to entertain Arjuna with the famous society girl of heaven, Urvasi, the celebrated beauty. The society girls of heaven are lusty, and Urvasi was very eager to contact Arjuna, the strongest human being. She met him in his room and expressed her desires. Arjuna sustained his unimpeachable character by closing his eyes before Urvasi, addressing her as mother of the Kuru dynasty, and placing her in the category of his mothers Kunti, Madri, and Sachi Devi, wife of Indradeva. Disappointed, Urvasi cursed Arjuna and left. In the heavenly planet, he also met the great celebrated ascetic Lomasa and prayed to him for the protection of Maharaja Yudhishthira. Yeah, Mataji, please pick it up from here. Samyukta Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. When his inimical cousin Duryodhana was under the clutches of the Gandharvas, he wanted to save him and requested the Gandharvas to release Duryodhana. But the Gandharvas refused, and thus he fought with them and got Duryodhana released. When all the Pandavas lived incognito, he presented himself in the court of King Virata as eunuch and was employed as the musical teacher of Uttara, his future daughter-in-law, and was known in the Vitara court as the Brahanalla. As Brahanalla, he fought on behalf of Uttara, the son of King Virata, and thus defeated the Kurus in the fight incognito. His secret weapons were safely kept in the custody of a Somi tree, and he ordered Uttara to get them back. His identity and his brother's identity were later on discussed to Uttara. Dronacharya was informed of Arjuna's presence in the fight of the Kurus and Viratas. Later on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Arjuna killed many great generals like Karna and others. After the battle of Kurukshetra, he punished Ashwadhama, who had killed all the 5 sons of Draupadi. Then all the brothers went to Bhishma Deva. It is due to Arjuna only that the great philosophical discourses of the Bhagavad Gita were again spoken by the Lord on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. His wonderful acts on the battlefield of Kurukshetra are vividly described in the Mahabharata. Arjuna was defeated, however, by his son Babruvahana at Manipura and fell unconscious when Ulipi saved him. After the disappearance of Lord Krishna, the message was brought by Arjuna to Maharaj Yudhishthira. Again, Arjuna visited Dwaraka, and all the widow wives of Lord Krishna lamented before him. He took them all in the presence of Vasudeva and pacified all of them. Later on, when Vasudeva passed away, he performed his funeral ceremony in the absence of Krishna. While Arjuna was taking all the wives of Krishna to Indraprastha, he was attacked on the way and he could not protect the ladies in his custody. At last, advised by Vyasadeva, all the brothers headed for Mahaprasthana. On the way, at the request of his brother, he gave up all important weapons as useless and he dropped them all in the water. Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Yes. 1 second. 1 second. Yeah.
Prabhuji, can I add Prabhuji something before?
Yes. It's a big purport actually. Prabhupada.
Very big purport actually. But at last, it is said that Arjuna cannot, even save the wives of Lord Krishna when he was bringing them back. So there is a story, parallel story why it happened like that. Do you people know? If you know, I'll stop it here only, because there was a curse actually. Like when Ashtavakra Muni, You know, na, Ashtavakra Muni was a very great friend of King Videha, means Janak.
Janaka Maharaj.
Janaka. Okay, so once what happened, while he was entering into an ashram and entering into a palace, just by the way he is walking, all the palace ladies, you know, they they laugh at him actually, this Ashtavakra Muni. So just the before day, all these palace ladies, they're blessed that you will become the wives of Lord, Supreme Lord. And the next day, when Ashtavakra Muni sensed that these people are laughing at my, these disabilities, he cursed. He cursed that you will be robbed away by the robbers. Even though if you are the wives of Lord Hari, then all these palace ladies will fall at the feet of this Ashtavakra Muni and just ask him to, they will plead a bargain. They'll plead for a bargain. Then what he says is, the people who will rob you are none other than the Krishna's expansions. That's it. So that's how it will be nullified by the Ashtavakra Muni. So it is all the game of Ashtavakra Muni, and his curse will be activated by Lord in this way.
So, Prabhuji, who robbed the ladies, Prabhuji, at the last? Like, what is the...
To appear or to say in this, like there is in one Skanda Purana, this story is there, Mataji. This is what Bhakti Rasamrita Swami Maharaj told us. But it is said that forest people are there, na? They will tend all the wild animals or the sheep and all. Those people will rob. And Arjuna could not even save from them also. So it is said that they are Krishna in himself. They are, the expansions of Krishna. So Arjuna cannot do anything to them.
Okay.
This is the curse of Ashtavakra Muni come into play like this.
Okay.
Yeah, Prabhu, thank you. Brother, you have one abundant because you listen to them in the water. That's it, no, Prabhu? Anything to add?
No, Prabhu. The people get bewildered, na? Why Krishna's wives are not being protected. So that is the reason why this story has been added.
Yes.
ఇది కూడా స్టోరీ ఉంటది కదా, అది ఊర్వశి లైక్ కర్సి చేస్తుంది అర్జున్ అని బృహన్ అంటే లైక్
yes
ఇలా ఉండమని.
you will become a eunuch. Urvashi will curse like Arjuna to become a eunuch, and Arjuna will become a Brihanala in the kingdom of Virat, because that 1 year is incognito, na? 12 plus 1.
Correct.
13th year is full incognito. So he'll become Brihanala. And this he will become cook. Bhima will become cook. And Yudhishthira will become a palace intrigue of the king. So everyone will take their own places. And this is when the Kichak comes, and Kichak will be pressed with his head inside in his body by Bhima in the night.
Yes. Yeah. Kichaka Vada. Yes. Mata is Ayipinda. Lavanya, go ahead. Please read.
Translation and purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: the child will be as strong as lion and as worthy as shelter as the Himalaya mountains. He'll be forbearing like the earth and as tolerant as his parents. Purport: one is compared to the lion when one is very strong in chasing an enemy, and one should be lamb at home and a lion in the chase. The lion never fails in the chase of an animal. Similarly, the head of the state should never fail in chasing an enemy. The Himalaya mountains are famous for all its richness. There are innumerable caves to live in, numberless trees of good fruits to eat, good springs to drink water from, the profuse drugs and minerals to cure diseases. Any man who is not materially prosperous can take shelter of these great mountains, and he will be provided with everything required. Both the materialist and spiritualist can take advantage of the great shelter of the Himalayas. On the surface of the earth, there are so many disturbances caused by the inhabitants. In the modern age, the people have begun to detonate atomic weapons on the surface of the earth. And still the earth is forbearing to the inhabitants like a mother who excuses a little child. Parents are always tolerant to children for all sorts of mischievous activities. An ideal king may be possessed if all these good qualities, and the child Parikshit is foretold to have all these qualities in perfection. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes. Sandhya Mataji. Child will be
Hare
like
Krishna,
this.
Prabhuji.
Yeah, go ahead, Mataji.
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: this child will be like his grandfather Yudhishthira or Brahma in equanimity of mind. He will be magnificent like the Lord of the Kailasa hill, Shiva, and he will be the resort of everyone, like the Supreme Personality of Godhead Narayana, who is even the shelter of the goddess of fortune. Purport: mental equanimity refers both to Maharaja Yudhishthira and to Brahma, the grandfather of all living beings. According to Sridhara Swami, the grandfather referred to is Brahma, but according to Vishwanatha Chakravarti, the grandfather is Maharaja Yudhishthira himself. But in both cases, the comparison is equally good because both of them are recognized representatives of Supreme Lord. And thus both of them have to maintain mental equanimity, being engaged in welfare work for the living being. Any responsible executive agent at the top of administration has to tolerate different types of onslaughts from the very persons for whom he works. Brahmaji was criticized even by the gopis, the highest perfectional devotees of the Lord. The gopis were dissatisfied with the work of Brahmaji because Lord Brahma, as creator of this particular universe, created eyelids which obstruct their seeing Lord Krishna. They could not tolerate a moment's blinking of the eyes, for it kept them from seeing their beloved Lord Krishna. So, what to speak of others who are naturally very critical of every action of responsible man? Similarly, Maharaj Yudhishthira has had to cross over many difficult situations created by his enemies, and he proved to be the most perfect maintainer of mental equanimity in all critical circumstances. Therefore, the example of both grandfathers for maintaining equanimity of mind is quite fitting.
Thank you, Mataji. Yeah. Akinchan Prabhu, are you still there, Hariba?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yes, Dandavad. Yeah, Lord Shiva is a celebrated demigod who awards gifts to beggars. His name is therefore Ashutosha, or one who is pleased very easily. He is also called the Bhutanatha, or the Lord of common folk, who are mainly attached to him because of his magnificent gifts, even without consideration of after effects. Ravana was very attached to the Lord Shiva, and by easily pleasing him, Ravana became so powerful that he wanted to challenge the authority of Lord Rama. Of course, Ravana was never helped by Lord Shiva when he fought with Rama, the supreme personality of Godhead and the Lord of the Lord Shiva. To Vrakrasura, Lord Shiva awarded a benediction which was only awkward but also disturbing. Vrakrasura became empowered by the grace of Lord Shiva to vanish anyone's head simply by touching it. Although this was awarded by Lord Shiva, the cunning fellow wanted to make the experiment of the power by touching the head of Lord Shiva. Thus, the Lord had to take shelter of Vishnu to save himself from trouble, and Lord Vishnu By his illusory potency, asked Vakrasura to make an experiment with his own head. The fellow did it and was finished himself. And so the world was saved from the all sorts of trouble by such cunning beggar of the demigods. The excellent point is that the Lord Shiva never denies anyone any sort of gift. He therefore the most generous, although sometimes some kind of mistake is made.
Continue, Prabhu. Yeah.
Yeah, Rama means the goddess of fortune, and her shelter is Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu is the maintainer of all the living beings. There are innumerable living beings not only on the surface of this planet but also in the other hundreds and thousands of planets. All of them are provided with all necessities of life for the progressive march towards the end of self-realization. But but on the path of self gratification, they are put into the difficulty by the agency of Maya and the illusory energy, and so the travel so travel the path of false plan of economic development. Such economic development is never successful because it is illusory. These men are always after the mercy of the illusory goddess of fortune, but they do not know that the goddess of fortune can live only under the protection of Vishnu. Without Vishnu, the goddess of fortune is a illusion. We should therefore seek the protection of Vishnu instead of directly seeking the protection of the goddess of fortune. Only Vishnu and the devotees of Vishnu can give protection to all. And because Maharaja Parikshit was himself protected by Vishnu, it was quite possible for him to give complete protection to all who wanted to live under his rule. Hare Krishna. Super.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Yes. Yeah. We'll read the last verse, then we'll continue tomorrow. Raju Prabhu, would you be able to read, Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah. Yeah.
Translation. Yeah. This child will be almost as good as Lord Sri Krishna by following in his footsteps. The magnanimity he will become a great as King Rantideva, and in religion he will be like Maharaja Yayati. Purport. The last instruction of Lord Sri Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita is that one should give up everything and should follow in the footsteps of Lord alone. Less intelligent person do not agree to these great instructions of the Lord, as ill luck would have it. But one who is actually intelligent catches up this sublime instruction and is immensely benefited. Foolish people do not know that association in this cause of acquiring qualities. Association with the fire makes an object hard, even in the material sense. Therefore, association with the Supreme Personality of God makes one qualified like a Lord. He was, as we have discussed previously, one can achieve 78% of the godly qualities by the Lord's intimate association. To follow the instructions of the Lord is to associate with the Lord. The Lord is not material object whose presence one has to feel for such association. The Lord is present everywhere and at all times. It is quite possible to have his association simply by following his instructions, because the Lord and his instruction and the Lord and his name, fame, attributes, and paraphernalia are all identical with him, being absolute knowledge. Maharaja Parikshit associated with the Lord even from the womb of his mother up the last day of his valuable life, and thus he acquired all the essential good qualities of the Lord in all the perfection. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Can you continue?
Yeah. Rantideva.
Rantideva. Rantideva, an ancient king prior to the Mahabharata period, referred by the Narada Muni while instructing Sanjaya, as mentioned in the Mahabharata, Drona Parva 67. He was a great king, liberal for hospitality and distribution of foodstuff. Even Lord Sri Krishna prized his acts of charity and hospitality. He was blessed by the great Vasishtha Muni for supplying him cold water, and thus he achieved the heavenly planet. He used to supply fruits, roots, and leaves for the rishis, and thus he was blessed by them with the fulfillment of his desires. Although a Kshatriya by birth, he never ate uh, flesh in his life. He was especially hospitable to Vasishtha Muni, and by his blessings only he attained the uh, planetary residence. He is one of those pious kings whose names are remembered in the morning and evening. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna is the last one. లలిత్ మోహన్ ప్రభు చేయండి ప్రభు లాస్ట్ మనం చేద్దాం ఈరోజు 10 minutes ఎక్కువ చేద్దాము ఈ శ్లోకాలు అది కంప్లీట్ చేయండి ప్రభు.
No issues, Prabhuji. Yayati, the great emperor of the world and the original forefather of all great nations of the world, who belong to the Aryan and Indo-European stock. He is the son of Maharaj Nahusha, and he became the emperor of the world due to his elder brothers becoming a great and liberated saintly mystic. He ruled over the world for several thousands of years and performed many sacrifices and pious activities recorded in history. Although his early youth was very lustful and full of romantic stories, he fell in love with Devayani, the most beloved daughter of Shukracharya. Devayani wished to marry him, but at first he refused to accept her because of her being a daughter of a Brahmana. According to Shastras, a Brahmana could marry a daughter of Brahmana. They were very much cautious about Varna Shankara population in the world. Shukracharya amended this law of forbidden marriage and induced Emperor Yayati to accept Devayani. Devayani had a girlfriend named Sharmishta, who also fell in love with the emperor, and thus went with her friend Devayani. Shukracharya forbade Emperor Yayati to call Sharmishta into his bedroom. But Yayati could not strictly follow his instruction. He secretly married Sharmishta also and begot sons by her. When this was known by Devayani, she went to her father and lodged a complaint. Yayati was much attached to Devayani, and when he went to his father-in-law's place to call her, Shukracharya was angry with him and cursed him to become impotent. Yayati begged his father-in-law to withdraw his curse, but the sage asked Yayati to ask youthfulness from his sons and let them become old as the condition of his becoming potent. He had 5 sons, two from Devayani and 3 from Sharmishta. From his 5 sons, namely Yadu, Turuvasu, Druhyu, Anu, and Puru, 5 famous dynasties named the Yadu dynasty, namely the Yadu dynasty, the Yavana, Turk dynasty, the Bhoja dynasty, the Mlecha dynasty, Greek, and the Paurava dynasty, all emanated to spread all over the world. He reached the heavenly planets by dint of his pious acts, but he fell down from there because of his self-advertisement and criticizing other great souls. After his fall, his daughter and grandson bestowed upon him their accumulated virtues, and by the help of his grandson and friend Shibi, he was again promoted to the heavenly kingdom, becoming one of the assembly members of Yamaraja, with whom he is staying as a devotee. He performed more than 1000 different sacrifices, gave in charity very liberally, and was a very influential king. His majestic power was felt all over the world. His youngest son agreed to award him his youthfulness when he was troubled with the lustful desires, even for 1000 years. Finally, he became detached from the worldly life and returned to youthfulness again to his son Puru. He wanted to hand over the kingdom to Puru, but his noblemen and the subjects did not agree. But when he explained to his subjects the greatness of Puru as king, and thus Emperor Yati retired from family life and left home for the forest. Probably this will come in fourth canto again in a very big story and very funny story also. Of course, for us it will be very funny, Prabhuji, but it's a very great lesson. No, Maharaj is very, sorry, His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj. He always says this story, Poor Yayati. He always, says Yayati as a poor Yayati. And Prabhupada also in those, translations, he explains how the Greek kingdom has come, how the Turkic kingdom has come. They're all none other than the Kshatriyas, the Anglo-Saxons and the Turkic and the Greeks. All these three. They are none other than the three sons of this same Yayati, who ran away because they didn't offer their youth. They wanted to enjoy their youth. But this only poor Puru, like Maharaj says, this one poor Puru will give, and he will become our, we are all the descendants of Puru. So the great King Puru, who sacrificed his own youth for his father. And people who didn't agree, they became Yavanas, Malachas, and Anglo-Saxons and Kali Yavanas, many.
Yeah, big stories. Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. Let us stop here. We'll read from this verse tomorrow. Thank you so much, devotees, for your joining calls, chanting and reading today. So we'll spend another 10 minutes or 15 minutes, okay? I will spend till 9 and 10. I added those two pictures, Prabhu. Navami Dete and then this one, Shamam Hiranya Paridham, okay? This one, ఇది వెళ్తా ఉన్న దొరకలేదు ప్రభు అది ఇదేనా మీరు అన్నది శ్యామమేనా
ప్రభుజీ ఆ హ్యాండ్ ఆ చేయిలో ఇంకొక తిప్పుతూ ఉంటాడు యాక్చువల్లీ బట్ దిస్ ఇస్ దట్ ఈస్ వెరీ గుడ్ దిస్ వన్ ప్రభుజీ హీ విల్ బి స్టాండింగ్ and he will keep one of his hand on one of his friends, onto the other hand he will be rotating this lotus like this. I too didn't get that, Prabhuji. I too didn't get that, but whenever we get, we will just keep it here.
Yes, Prabhu. So devotees, as Prabhu mentioned, these three prayers about the beautiful face of Krishna explained in different
not face, Prabhuji, beautiful body of Krishna. How
body
he looks. No.
Body.
That shloka is a lips of Lord Krishna, but these three shlokas, they together they describe the whole body, the structure of the Lord, how he actually appears. Prabhu, other than this, there are many explanations how Krishna is explained. Yeah.
This one, third canto also we see Kapila Muni explains, right?
Yeah, Kapila Muni explains that, this, what is Dhruva? Dhruva explains how the Lord looks, and Prahalad explains. There are many explanations. But these features, the way these are described in 10th canto, nowhere it is described upon. They explain in the awe and reverence. But these three, they explain like, he's our guy. He's my family member or my person. So these three are explained in that way, very intimate.
Achha.
So that's why these three are special. And of these three, Bharahapidam is the most special.
Okay, translate. Chalo, chesama Prabhu, etla idam idea. You tell me.
Prabhuji, let the Matajis and Prabhujis decide. I don't know. I will only guide them, but let them learn how they wanted to learn.
Matajis, Haribol, let us do whatever like us to do.
Last week, Prabhuji.
Yeah,
Last
even
week,
I was absent. Now,
okay. Then let me tell all of you again. Like we are about to discuss the Bharahapidam verse actually. But as a groundwork or a preparation for that verse now, there are two more verses in the 10th canto, which describes the whole feature of the Lord Krishna's body, how he looks. So for every devotee, he looks differently. So initially Brahma starts describing Lord Krishna when he was a boy, a very small little boy. So how he describes, that is 10:14:1. Naumijyate bhavapuse. Okay. And after that, the gopis describe when Krishna sings with his flute, how Krishna looks like. That is Barhapidam. And after that, the Brahmana Patnis, they go, they see from a bushes how Krishna looks exactly. And at that time, Krishna does some activity, like keeping his hand on one of his friend's shoulder, and with the other one, he will be rotating his lotus, one lotus with the other hand, and he looks in some different way. That is explained by the Brahmana Patnis. So instead of going for the gopis, we have initially gone for the Brahmaji's version and the Brahmana Patni's version.
Yes. Yes.
So we were describing these two. Okay. So this is where we are. And these two shlokas can be sung in two different meters. One is Akshanvatam, the other one is Shrutva. So that is what is being practiced by the devotees here. That is where we are, Mataji.
Yes. Okay, Prabhu. Can you please repeat once again so that?
Yeah, I will just repeat. There might be some disturbances because my parents has come to this room. So this we will recite in the Shrutva Gunan meter. Naumijyate bhavapushe tadidam. Sorry. Shrutva gunan bhuvana sundara shrinvatante. Nirvishya karna vivaraiharatogatapam. Rupam drisham drishimatam akhilartalabam. Tvayachyuta vishati chittamapatrapam me. Naumijyate bhavapushe tadidambaraya. Gunjavatam saparipicchala sanmukhaya. Vanyasraje kavalavetra vishana venu. Lakshma Shriye Mridupade Pashupangajaya. So this is Shrutva Gunan meter. Now I will do the Akshanvatam. Naumijyate bhavapuse tadidambaraya. Gunjavatam saparipicchala sanmukhaya. Vanyasraje kavalavetra vishana venu. Lakshma Shriye Mridupade Pashupangajaya. Okay. The next one is the Shama. So will anyone of you practice this verse? In
Sorry,
these
what
2
you
meters?
said? What you said, Prabhu?
I said, Prabhu, Naumijyate Brahma. Please keep that. Yeah. Now I sang it in 2 different meters. If anyone is interested, they can practice now.
Yes, Prabhu.
Are anyone interested or no? Yes or no? Please let me know. If no, I will go to the Shyamam Hiranyapad. If yes, then you people practice, please. Whatever you wish.
I'll do Prabhuji.
Yeah, please, Mataji, please go ahead.
Not
Yes,
remembering.
Naumijyate bhavapuse tadidambaraya. Gunjavatam saparipicchala sanmukhaya. Vanyasraje kavalavetra vishana venu. Lakshma Shriye Mridupade Pashupangajaya.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes,
The second one.
yes, Prabhuji. Naumijyate bhavapuse tadidambaraya. Gunjavatam saparipicchala sanmukhaya. Vanyasraje kavalavetra vishana venu. Lakshma Shriye Mridupade Pashupangajaya.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji.
Gita Mataji, Sandhya Mataji, Lavanya Mataji. Do it. Mataji, Hari bol. Thank you, Samyukta Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Kesari.
Chesara Mataji.
Prabhuji, I would like to do, but I think you'll disturb me, Prabhuji. I'll send the voice to Prabhuji.
Sure. No problem.
Yes, sir. Will disturb this?
No. Lavanya, want to do?
Yeah, we'll try. First one, Shrutva Gunan, right?
Sutra meter.
नौमीरते ब्रह्मवपुषे तलितम्बराय गूंजावतांश परिपिच्चल सन्मुखाय वन्यश्च ఇదే వస్తుందా?
Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
వన్యస్త్రజే కవలవేత్ర విశానవేణు లక్ష్మస్త్రియే మృదుపదే పశుపాంగజాయ. ఇంకోటి అక్షన్వతం.
గుర్తు తెచ్చుకో శ్లోకం. అక్షన్వతం ఫలమిదం అది
Mataji itla. Naumīdyate bravapuse atla.
నౌమీడ్యతే బ్రహ్మపుసే తలిదంబరాయ గుంజావతాంశ పరిపిచ్చల సన్ముఖాయ. ఇది అదే వస్తుందా ప్రభుజీ?
వస్తుంది Mataji, వస్తుంది. చేయండి మొత్తం చేయండి. తేడా ఉంటే లాస్ట్ చెప్తా, సరేనా?
ఒకసారి అది పెట్టరా ఒకసారి.
ఏది అక్షన్వతం?
అక్షన్వతం అన్ని కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అవుతుంది. అక్షన్వతం ఫలమిదం న పరం విదామా సఖ్యా పశూనను అనువివేశయోర్వయస్యై వక్త్రం రజేష సుతయోరు అనువేను జుష్టం యైర్వాణి ప్రీతమనురక్త కటాక్ష మోక్షం. అక్షన్వతాం ఫలమిదం న పరం విదామా సఖ్యా పశూనను వివేశయతోర్వయస్యై వక్త్రం రజేష సుతయోరు అనువేను జుష్టం యైర్వాణి పీతమనురక్త కటాక్ష మోక్షం.
నవమీడ్యతే
బ్రహ్మవపుసే తలిదంబరాయ గూంజావతాంశ పరిపిచ్చల సన్ముఖాయ వన్యస్త్రజే కవలవేత్ర విశానవేణు లక్ష్మశ్రియే మృదుపదే పశుపంకజాయ.
Hari bol. Jai Mataji. Yes, you also done correctly.
Mataji is done. Prabhuji is, thank you Lavanya. Hari bol. Prabhu, Raju Prabhu, then later I will do lastly. Yes, sir. Raju Prabhu, are you able to do? Or busy? Then Akinchan Prabhu, చేయండి.
I will practice today. I'll do it tomorrow.
ఇక్కడనే ప్రాక్టీస్ చేసి ఇక్కడనే అప్ చెప్పాలి అంతే. Okay. Let me try, Prabhu. Correct me if I go wrong. Okay.
Okay, bro. Sure, bro.
Okay. Naumīdyate bravapuse tadidambaraya gunjavatam saparipicchala sanmukhaya vanyasraje kavalavetra vishanavenu lakshmasriye mrudupade pashupangajaya. ఓకేనా?
Perfect, bro. Perfect.
అక్షరం ఫలమిదం నవమీడ్యతే బ్రౌసే తదిదంబరాయ గూంజావతాం సపరిపిచ్చల సన్ముఖాయ వన్యస్రజే కవలవేత్ర విశానవేనో లక్ష్మా శ్రియే మృదుపదే పశుపాంగజాయ.
హరి బోల్. జై. డన్ బ్రో.
హరి బోల్.
కొన్ని రోజుల తర్వాత హరి బోల్ రాదు, డూమ్ బోల్.
అంటే రెండయ్యే వరకు కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అవుతుంది ప్రభుజీ. అంటే
No, practice Mataji ante. Andariki vachestadi. Everyone can do.
దెన్ ఇంకొకటి చేద్దామా ప్రభు? అది సేమ్ ట్యూనే కదా, ప్రాక్టీస్ చేద్దామా? ఏమంటారు?
శ్యామం హిరణ్యం.
నేను చేస్తా ప్రభు.
Yes, ప్రభు.
తప్పులు వద్దు చెప్పండి. ఓకేనా? ఎస్.
ఓకే ప్రభు.
ఓకే. శ్యామం హిరణ్య పరిధిం వనమాల్య బర్హ ధాతు ప్రవాల నటవేషమనావ్రతం సే విన్యస్తహస్తమితరేణ ధునానమబ్జం కర్ణోత్పలాలక కపోల ముఖాబ్జహాసం.
Yes, ప్రభు. హరి బోల్. జై.
థ్యాంక్ యూ ప్రభు. దెన్ అక్షన్వతం ఫలమిదం. ఓకే. శ్యామం హిరణ్య పరిధిం వనమాల్య బర్హ ధాతు ప్రవాల నటవేషమనావ్రతం సే వన్యస్తహస్తమితరేణ ధునానమబ్జం కర్ణోత్పలాలక కపోల ముఖాబ్జహాసం.
Yes, ప్రభు. Done.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. మీ వాయిస్ బ్రేక్ అయింది. ఏమన్నారు? Okay, continue. Yes, you can leave.
Okay.
1 or 2 words practice. You will ask. Yes. Otherwise, ఒకసారి చేయండి మీరు. మన లావణ్య అండ్ సంయుక్త మధ్య ప్లీజ్ మీ ఇద్దరు చేయండి, మళ్ళీ ప్రయత్నం చేయండి. ఇట్లా శుత్వాగుణాన్భవన సుందర శ్యామం
హిరణ్య పరిధిం వనమాల్య
బర్హ ధాతు. చేయండి మాతాజీ, కలిసి చేద్దాం. నాకు థర్డ్ లైన్ రావట్లేదు.
మాతాజీ క్యారీ ఆన్, నో ప్రాబ్లం, క్యారీ ఆన్.
లేదు మాతాజీ, నాకు థర్డ్ లైన్ ఫోర్త్ లైన్ రావట్లేదు మాతాజీ, మీతో పాటు చేద్దామని
నేను కూడా ట్రై చేస్తున్నా. ఓకే. శ్యామం హిరణ్య పరిధిం వనమాల్య బర్హ ధాతు ప్రవాల నటవేషమనావృతం విన్యస్తహస్తమితరేణ దునానమబ్జం కర్ణోత్పలాలక కపోల ముఖాబ్జహాసం.
అంతే. ఒకసారి చేయండి మీ ఇద్దరు ఇదే ట్యూన్, సపరేట్ గా చేయండి.
శ్యామం హిరణ్య పరిధిం వనమాల్య బర్హ ధాతు ప్రవాల నటవేషమనావృతాంశే విన్యస్తహస్తమితరేణ దునానమబ్జం కర్ణోత్పలాలక కపోల ముఖాబ్జహాసం.
సంయుక్త మాతాజీ చేయండి.
ఎస్ ప్రభుజీ. శ్యామం హిరణ్య ప్రభుజీ
లాస్ట్ లైన్ ఒకసారి చూసుకోండి, ఇక్కడ మిస్ అవుతుంది. కరుణోత్పలాలక కపోల
శ్యామం హిరణ్య పరిధిం వనమాల్య బర్హ ధాతు ప్రవాల నటవేషమనావ్రతాంసే విన్యస్తహస్తమితరేణ ధునానమబ్జాం కరణోత్పలాలక కపోల ముఖాబ్జహాసం.
ప్రాక్టీస్ బాగా చేశారు. ఎస్, ప్రాక్టీస్ తోనే అంతే. ఫస్ట్ టైం విన్నప్పుడు మన టంగ్ తిరగదు. సో దెన్ రిపీట్ దెన్ హ్యాబిచుయేటెడ్. దెన్ అక్షన్వదం మళ్ళీ ఇద్దరు కలిసి చేయండి మీరు. ఏమంటే
శ్యామం హిరణ్య పరిధిం వనమాల్య బర్హ ధాతు ప్రవాల నటవేషమనావృతాంశే విన్యస్తహస్తమితరేణ దునానమబ్జం కర్ణోత్పలాలక కపోల ముఖాబ్జహాసం.
వెరీ నైస్. సపరేట్ చేయండి ఇద్దరు, దెన్ విల్ ర్యాప్ అప్.
శ్యామం హిరణ్య పరిధిం వనమాల్య బర్హ ధాతు ప్రవాల నటవేషమనావృతాంశే విన్యస్తహస్తమితరేణ దునానమబ్జం కర్ణోత్పలాలక కపోల ముఖాబ్జహాసం.
నైస్. చేయండి సంయుక్త మాతాజీ.
శ్యామం హిరణ్య పరిధిం వనమాల్య బర్హ ధాతు ప్రవాల నటవేషమనావృతాంసే విన్యస్తహస్తమితరేణ ధునానమబ్జం కరణోత్పలాలక కపోల ముఖాబ్జహాసం.
రైట్. థ్యాంక్ యూ. మీరు ఈ ట్రాన్స్లేషన్ చదవండి. నవమీట్ అయితే లావనే చదువుతుంది. దెన్ విల్ ర్యాప్ అప్. చదవండి.
Yes, Prabhuji. Translation. His complexion was dark blue and his garment golden, wearing a peacock feather colored minerals, sprigs of flowers, sprigs of flowers, sprigs of flower birds, and a garland of forest flowers and leaves. He was dressed just like a dramatic dancer. He rested one hand upon the shoulder of a friend, and with the other side filled a lotus. Lilies graced his ears, his hair hung down over his cheeks, and his lotus-like face was smiling. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. ఇది ట్రాన్స్లేట్ చదివి లావణ్య నవమీడి అయితే ఆల్రెడీ తెలుసు చదువు సరే.
Translation. Lord Brahma said, "My dear Lord, you are the only worshipable Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore I offer my humble obeisances and prayers just to please you. O son of the king of the cowherds, your transcendental body is dark blue like a new cloud, your garment is brilliant like lightning, and the beauty of your face is enhanced by your gunja earrings and the peacock feather on your head. Wearing garlands of the various forest flowers and leaves, and equipped with a hurdling stick, a buffalo horn, and a flute, you stand beautifully with a morsel of wood in your hand." Haribol.
హరిబోల్ హరిబోల్ ఆ పిక్చర్ చూడాలి
Yeah, it's very beautiful. Brahma Vimohan Leela after Brahma comes and asks for forgiveness. And Krishna will be standing with ఒక ముద్ద చిన్న ముద్దతో ఉంటాడు తినుకుంటా. Yeah.
సో ఆయన సుప్రీం పర్సనాలిటీ ఆఫ్ గాడ్ వెరీ ఇంటిమేట్ రియలైజేషన్స్ అన్నమాట. దట్స్ వెరీ ఆయన సుప్రీం బ్రహ్మాండాన్ని నడిపించే ఆయన ఇట్లా ఉంటాడు అనేది
అందుకే కదా బ్రహ్మ బివిల్డర్ అవుతాడు, అది ఎంగిల్ తింటుండు కృష్ణ అని.
అదే కదా బ్రహ్మ ఏంది ఈయన సుప్రీం పర్సనాలిటీ ఆఫ్ గాడ్. ఓకే, విల్ స్టాప్ హియర్. Thank you so much again. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Nitai Gaur Hari Premanande, Hari Hari.
Hare
Thank you. You all